God of War Ragnarok. This game has a parry, so it makes it into parry review. For the sake of this video, I went straight into Valhalla mode, and I'm playing in Give Me God of War difficulty, which, from my understanding, is the hardest difficulty in this game. So before I talk about the parry, which is, you know, perfectly made for this game, which is kind of redundant to say. Obviously, the developers made the parry of God of War specifically for God of War, but I want to talk about the camera in this game, the way you control the camera, because even though you can master it, and eventually you can make the camera work for you instead of against you, Kratos moves and attacks wherever you point this camera. So you can't be attacking an enemy and then trying to look behind you with the camera, because then that will move Kratos' attention 180 degrees, and then his back will face the enemy. Or if you turn 90 degrees, right, in the middle of a combo, you turn to the right or to the left, you're going to stop attacking the enemy and attack whichever direction it was you changed to. Obviously, if you lock on to the enemy, then you no longer control the camera. Moving the right stick, that now changes lock on from one enemy to another. And even though I said again, like, you can master the camera in this game and make it work for you, it's just weird not being able to, because I always map the buttons to do this, right? Usually I switch, if the attack buttons are in the face buttons, I change them to the shoulder buttons, just so that I can always be moving the camera around and always be seeing what's going on. But with Kratos, they expect Mimir and the little arrow that goes from yellow to red to warn you about attacks that are behind you. So what I've done to mitigate that is I keep my combos short, and I just look around me with the camera anyways. I just move the right stick and look around me. I just make sure to do it when I'm not attacking, because that way I'm not completely screwing myself. But honestly, guys, I just don't like the way the camera in this game works. It could be worse. I recognize that for sure. It could be worse. So let me talk about the parry now. So the parry in this game works like in most games. You press the block button just as an attack is about to connect, and you parry. The game goes slow motion, and then you can enact your reprisal by pressing, in this case, the Dauntless Shield. You press the shield button twice, and that's how you do the reprisal. So this is Valhalla, and part of the reason why I chose Valhalla is because I have to wait until later in the game to get the Spartan Aspis shield. So there's three shields that are like very, very parry focused. There's the Guardian shield, which is the standard generic shield, which is really good actually. The Aspis, the Spartan Aspis shield, which is the last shield you get, I think, in the story. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments. And then there's the one I'm using, which is kind of like the best of both worlds, which is the Dauntless shield. So let's break those three shields down. If you want to do something more like be able to parry and be safe, use the Guardian shield. If you want the Guardian shield, but that it sort of behaves like the Dauntless, but it still retains the original reprisals and counterattacks from the Guardian shield, then for that you should use the Spartan Aspis shield. The problem with the Spartan Aspis is that it has the most strict and shortest parry window out of all the shields in the game, and this is why I went with the Dauntless shield, because you can still reflect projectiles with the Dauntless shield, which I originally thought was something you could only do with the Guardian and Aspis shield. But since you can still parry projectiles with the Dauntless shield, just not in the same way as with the Guardian shield, I said, whatever, it doesn't matter, and I stuck with the Dauntless shield. So the Dauntless shield, which is the one you'll be seeing in the footage here, this is like the posture breaking shield, which is why you're also going to see me use fists a lot. So the posture is the bar below the health. You're going to see it fill up as I attack enemies. And the Dauntless shield breaks their posture a little bit, not completely breaks it, but you know, it fills up the bar. So breaks their posture a little bit when you parry, and then the reprisal, you can charge it up to 3 times by parrying 3 attacks, and then that'll break their posture a lot. And the reason why this is important in this game is because of the iframes. When you're doing the execution attack, which is when the enemy falls to the ground, their posture is completely broken, and they glow red. Not yellow. When they glow yellow, you just do like a high damage attack. It doesn't kill them. You want to make them glow red. So when that happens, you get close to them, and you press whatever button it is you've assigned to committing executions. And then you'll begin killing the enemy, like it'll instantly kill them, and you have iframes during the whole entire animation. Which is good because you also have iframes in the parry. I'm not sure if the Dauntless Reprisal also has iframes. I know that it staggers enemies, so I don't... I'm trying to remember, and I don't think I've ever taken any damage while doing the Dauntless Reprisal, which you do by pressing the shield button twice. So, and then you also have iframes when you do the execution. So those are 3 instances of iframes. And that is the real reason why I use the Dauntless Shield, because if you exploit the iframes and you don't miss your parries, you're very, very safe. It's a shield that keeps you very, very safe so long as you are loyal to the parry and do not miss your timings. So I don't know, maybe some of you haven't seen my other videos, but I have a review here of God of War 2018. And I did not like that game, but I did hear better things about the combat in this game. So I had both those opinions, my previously made opinion from when I played God of War 2018, and the good news that people gave me about Ragnarok. So I had like conflicting thoughts about this game. Obviously I still don't like the camera, so that's a con, that's a big negative for me. But I do like this game more than God of War 2018, and I gave that game a 5 out of 10. I'm thinking I'll give this game... I don't know, I don't want to be too negative. Well, before I get into that score, let me also mention that my Rage of the Gods, when you click the 2 thumbsticks, it heals you, and it kind of also works like a parry, except that the enemies don't take damage, you just like heal, and then you get a damage buff. So that's another neat mechanic that's sort of like a parry. So I don't know, just because of that, and because I actually like the parry in this game, let's give it like, I don't know, like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10 on the parry metric. And on the fun and enjoyment scale, let's give this game like a solid 7 out of 10 on the fun and enjoyment. So 6.5 on the parry and 7 out of 10 on the fun and enjoyment scale. And I say that as someone who like, I didn't love the last game, God of War 2018. So I would say this is a huge improvement on my part. Obviously, if you don't agree with me, you know, let me know in the comments. But you know, let's amicably disagree. You know, a lot of people get heated in the comments. It's so weird. It's so strange and silly. You silly little goobers. What are you doing? Getting mad over video games on the internet. So, you know, I don't know what else to say about this game. It always happens that I forget to say something, and then in the description I gotta write something, but whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and enjoy.